Welcome to the basic guide to map making. Today I'm going to show you how to start off with map making without knowing anything about it. So first thing you need to have more than 10,000 Gs. I have 40,000 Gs, so I think I'm quite well enough for this challenge. So yeah, you go to menu, and there you see an option called Map Editor. You go there, and it will bring you to a whole new interface with all sorts of options like the maximum grounds and objects you can use. So let's first go over all the options in this thing. So here you have grounds. Grounds are which you can stand on, and if you select a ground, you will see next to your cursor you will see the ground you're using, which now this is wood ground. This is the most basic ground there is. There's several more like these. Grass is also really basic ground, and stone and sand are also really basic grounds. The other ones have certain features, and snow is like grass. So let me go over these features, the different ones. So first of all, you have wood, you have ice, and you have trampoline. Let's go over them first. So let me put them now in the middle so you can better see them. The options with these grounds is that ice is really slippery. It means there is no friction, and friction means the amount it will push you back. So trampoline ground, this is bouncy, which as you can see it bounces me up pretty high. And this is just a normal ground, and you can see if I run on it, it will stop me. And if I do that on ice, if I run on it, I will keep sliding forwards until I fall off. So now let's remove these grounds and go to the next three grounds, which is lava, chocolate, and then you have the earth, which is the same as wood, and grass is also the same as wood, and sand is not the same, but it's a sort of a combination to let me not stand on lava. So the thing is about chocolate is that it's not really slippery. So on this ground, you really get pulled back by it. So it's really hard to walk on, and it's really easy to climb on. Also here you have lava, which is really bouncy. As you can see, you probably already know that. And sand is a little bit slippery, but yet also has a bit of force. It can push you back. And stone, earth, and all that stuff is all the same as wood. Let's see. Then we have also some special ones, which is this one and the round one. At first, I'm gonna advise you not to use them if you don't know what you're doing, because this looks really ugly if you don't use it in a nice way. But the thing about these rounds is that you can change the color of them, and you can make nice arts with them. But well, let's take these away, and let's start off with the next part of the thingy. So let me place a nice wooden floor here, just so I can stand on there. Okay, now we have the mouse objects here, so my stuff. First of all, the mouse hole. Let me remove the my spawn for a sec. The mouse hole is where you have to finish the map, of course, and the cheese is what you have to get. So you have to go to the cheese, and you have to get back to the hole. If you don't place a mice spawn like I just did, then you will by default spawn at the hole. Except when there's a mice spawn, because then you will spawn at the mice spawn, of course. And if there's a shaman spawn, the shaman will spawn there. So now I will spawn there, but the mice will all spawn there. So as you can see, I spawn there, and the mice will spawn there, and they have to go there and get that. Pretty easy. This is basic stuff, you probably already know this. Then next to this, we have a list of items like trees, grass, all sorts of weird stuff, which you can use to make your map look a bit better. There are also interactive things like a bed, a radio, which you can use in your tribe house to play music. Also, we have, let's see, a table and chairs, which you can also sit and stand on. So there are a few, like I'm placing the ones on the screen which you can sit and stand on. So let me remove the rest. This is here you can play music with in your tribe house. And if you want to know what your tribe house is, then you should go around and ask people. And let me place the mice spawn or the shaman spawn somewhere else. You can only have one shaman spawn and one mice spawn, sadly. But well, maybe in the future they will add multiple ones. And let me see if I have all the items on the screen which you can interact with. I think I do, and these are TV screens for your tribe house, which I advise not to use in normal maps. So okay, these are all the items you can stand on. Probably you have to use these for your tribe house and not for the normal maps because they don't add for really good map making. Okay, so now let's go back to nothing again, and we're going to see shaman objects. These are basically the objects you can use that the shaman can spawn. And also you have these turning anchors and stuff, but we will look into that later. And if you really want to know how they work, then you have to watch my other tutorials, but this is the basic one, and I'm only going to explain to you what the basic stuff does. So trampoline is basically the same as this ground, only not whatever. And then, so the shaman objects you can look into, and if you want to know more about it, you have to watch my other tutorials because sometimes it's really hard. Now we go to map settings, which you can click collision. Collision basically means that your mice will be able to touch each other, so they can stand on each other's faces. It's really annoying, but if you have a good idea with it, of course you can use it. But if you don't have any experience with map making, don't use collision. Then we have soulmates, which makes two mice connect together with a string. It's really fun to do some maps with that, but again, you have to really think maps out before you make something with it. And let me remove that trampoline ground because it's annoying me. And then we also have portal, which I will show you what that does. Portal basically activates that you can have two more objects when you're summoning, this one and this one. And you can use this to go through walls and stuff and make all sorts of things. So yeah, that's the portal. I'm gonna disable all. And we have the backgrounds here, which you can pick one you like the most to fit with yours. I like the daylight one a lot, so I'm gonna use that now. Now let's go over to the grounds again, and we're gonna start off with making a basic map. My idea is basically I want the mice to start here, go over this way, climb up something, jump over to something in a pro fashion, or the shaman has to build to it, and then he has to go back to a hole which I will probably place here. So I'm gonna place something really simple. So let's see. I will pick grass ground, and I will place it here, and I will make the length, which you can here see. So this is all the options the ground has, which I should also go over for a second, I think. Let me go over with it with this wood ground because it's more it explains better. So dynamic means you can it can move, so I can push it. So, and if it's not dynamic, I can't push it and it's stuck there. So I walk against it and doesn't work. Let me put the mice spawn closer so I don't have to run over there every time. And here's the mass, which means how heavy the ground is. So if I make this really high, it will be really hard for me to push this ground away, and barely possible, let's say that. So let's make it non-dynamic again. Oh wait, let's keep it dynamic and make it fixed rotation, and show you what this does. If you have a ground which is fixed rotated, so this one is 1, it says V or whatever it means, but if it's 1, it's fixed rotated. Okay, so as you can see, the ground is dynamic here, and it's not falling off this piece of ground, and it keeps its own rotation. If I make this 0, then it will be able to fall off, and it will have that feature. So yeah, that's one thing you can keep in mind. Also, you have linear damping, which means how slow it falls. So let's do that. You can see it falls really slowly. And also you have angular damping, which means how quick it rotates. And let me make this really high linear damping so I can show you it will stay in the air for a bit. And it will be really hard to rotate it, yet if I make it 0, then it's a lot easier to rotate the ground. Although you can't really see the difference, because as you can see it keeps turning now, but with the other one it basically stopped after a point. Like, yeah, you can see it stops and it doesn't keep on rotating, so that's one thing. But yeah, let's make this non-dynamic. You can also see collision with mice. Let's deactivate that. And now you can walk through the ground, which is really nice, but boxes and all that stuff doesn't. So, and you can also switch that around, so you can make mice touch it and let boxes fall through, or you can deactivate both and walk through, and boxes can walk through. So now it's basically a useless background thing. But yeah, let's deactivate that again and remove the mice thing so I can show you what foreground does. Foreground means it is in front of all the other grounds, and it will also be in front of your mouse. As you can see, I'm now hidden behind this block. Don't use this a lot. It's really annoying if you hide what you're doing. People won't like your maps, so pay attention that you don't do that too much. So let's activate everything again and remove this ground, so now you know what all the things do. And now we can go to the grass grounds. The X means how much to the left it is. You can see it here, it's 136. So let me bring it to 0. 0 is in the corner, so it's always a bit different. So here's 0, and around here it's like 136. But I'm going to change the ground because grass has a certain feature, which if it's everything multiplied by 40, so 40, 80, 120, 160, 200, 240, 280, let's make it 280, you can see that there's no grass on the sides. It looks a lot better, and I'm going to keep that. So I'm going to place the mice spawn here. Also, we have here the delete function, which is obvious, and the duplicate, so I can copy this ground fairly easily. And let me make it smaller, and you can see it has grass on the side because it's 40 times certain number. So yeah, and the other thing is, if you have grounds, make sure, and you want them on the same height, make sure that their height, which you can see here, here's the length and here's the height is the same, because if it's like 50, it's lower, but if it's 61, you can easily see that it's the same length. And also you see the Y, which is how high or low it is. And if you keep this, if you make this sure this is the same, so this one is 383, this one is 381. So if it's 383, now this would be on the same line, and it would look a lot better than if it's not on the same line. So now you have two grounds on the same line. I can see here that there's a small gap between the side, so I'm going to move this a bit to the side. So now you have two grounds you can stand on, and my plan was to put the cheese here and put a platform up there where I have the hole, and the shaman has to build to it. So I'm going to make a shaman map. I'm not going to make a racing map today, but I'm going to make a shaman map. And because I want all the grounds to look a bit the same, I'm going to use duplicate again, and I'm going to make this 120. Maybe that looks good, and maybe make it thinner, because I don't like how thick this is. So maybe 40 looks a little bit better, or 50, I don't know. Yeah, I think 50 looks fine. Let's place this here and duplicate it to this side. And now you can see this one is 163 and this one is 160. Because I like round numbers, I'm going to make this 160 as well. And now these two grounds are on the same line, and because their height is the same, they would have the same thing. So now I can place all the objects like the hole. So there they will have to finish, and there they will have to go. Yeah, let's place that there. Now, now this map is already possible, so you can already do this map. But I'm gonna add a shaman spawn right here. So the shaman has a little bit more time to think about what he's going to build. Because these mice have to run here, jump over, and then the shaman could have already placed a plank and started building towards the cheese. And then the mice could, without waiting, could go to the cheese, and they would have, there's less complaining about how bad the map is or something. So yeah, at the moment the map is already good enough, but it doesn't look really good. So I'm going to use these objects next to this to make the map look a bit better. And that's not really hard. First of all, I like to use trees a lot. So one tree and it looks already a lot better. I'm gonna place grass here, so that gives more feeling of around there. Grass there, grass here. That looks really nice. So wait a second. I'm gonna close the door here. Door's open. Sorry, I hate sounds. Okay, so this looks already a lot better than before. I'm gonna look if there's any other objects I might want to add into it. Maybe stones. I don't know if that looks really nice. Why not? So now, okay, I fell down. So let me lower my mouse a bit so I don't fall. So now this map is already done in short. But okay, let me export the map just so you guys can look at it and say how bad it is. But it's the basic shaman map, and I will also go to in the future I'm going to make really basic other maps, and I'm going to show you how to make basic but really nice looking ones, because this doesn't look bad yet. The gameplay is probably pretty good. So let me validate this map and show you how to properly shaman it. I'm not an easy mode shaman, you probably are, so you can use red anchors, but I don't. So let me go to there. Easily you can run up here, get the cheese, go back to the other side, jump here, add a plank to this one. If you also want me to make shaman guides, I can also make those, although I'm not the best shaman and I'm also not really good with totems, so I will have to prepare for chains if I have to do that. But well, if you want more of these basic tutorials, you can also tell me and I will make them. So thank you for watching, and I hope you learned something. And if you still have questions, ask me. Not in game, please, not in game, because I get questions not there. If you want to ask me questions, do it on or the forums, like with the PM, or on YouTube in the reactions thingy or whatever you want to call it. You can ask me questions there. Usually I read them. I don't answer them with typing. I usually prepare them for a tutorial. So yeah. So well, I hope you learned something, and thank you for watching. And that only costed me 5 cheese. Oh yeah, why did it cost me 5 cheese? Let me explain that for a second as well. For every perm you get, your maps will be cheaper basically, and I have a lot of perm maps, so mine only cost 5 cheese. So that's why. Okay, thank you for watching, and see ya.